I'm Mark Traves. I am Head of Partnerships for Humanity Health Group. I've been working with Humanity Health Group since November of 2020. I started as a Partnerships Manager for Care Squared, which is our NDIS brand. So as the Partnerships Manager, I supported our clinicians and our team to ensure that we were delivering great customer experiences each time and really supporting our participants. I think since day one, I walked in the door and felt really welcome, and that I was able to be my authentic self, because HHG really looks at diversity and inclusion as not about raising one group against another, but ensuring that everyone in the business and all of our clients have a seat at the table, and that they're all given the same level of dignity and respect. So to me, that's really important with being a part of this organisation. I think there are lots of places out there, and I have lots of friends who are part of the LGBTQIA community, where they're not able to bring their authentic self to work because there may be some homophobia, or just because they don't feel comfortable. So they spend a lot of their time self-editing. They, need to refer to their partner in a gender-neutral way and avoid using names. That can be really exhausting. So one of the great things about HHG is I can come in, and anyone in our organisation can proudly be who they are from the minute that they walk in the door, and they're promoted to do that. So it is a huge point of difference that I really love about our business. So for me, I grew up in regional New South Wales, which was a wonderful lifestyle and a wonderful way to grow up. I'm from a Catholic family. We were churchgoers, but I'm also really lucky that I come from a very understanding and forward-focused family. So I guess my biggest challenge was growing up, there was no one like me that I knew of. There were no role models for me. So the only time you would ever see someone who identified as gay on any mainstream media was as a villain. So there were no positive associations with being gay. I mean, having said that, though, I do have a wonderful family, and they always accepted me for me. So I was never sporty. I was never masculine. I never fit that mainstream expectation of a country man. But my family didn't care. They let me be who I was, which made it easier for me when I really started to understand how different I was, and that I was same-sex attracted. That progression wasn't so difficult. For me, coming out to my family was really more of a confirmation than anything else. They always knew that I was different, and that I was me. And being gay was just something else about me that made me different, but it didn't make me any less special. It didn't make me any less loved, which is really great. So I'm one of the lucky ones. I have a responsibility to ensure that the messaging is out there for people, that you're not alone, that there are other people like you in similar situations, and it's okay to reach out and find help. If you're not sure, if you want to talk to someone, look at those avenues that are out there, because you're part of a really diverse community, whether or not you know it, who are there to support each other through everything. So do reach out if you need to. I'm really fortunate to have grown up in Australia, and I think many of us are, where we've seen such strides in equality and diversity around, and a real change in attitude towards people and minority groups. One of the things that's really important for us to remember, though, and it can get lost a little bit, is that the freedoms and the liberties that we have today to love the people we love and be who we are have come because of the work of people before us. We're really standing on the shoulders of our predecessors. And it's important that we remember that there are other people around the world who are struggling. There are countries, developed nations, where people have been free to be who they were, and they've taken that step backwards now. So, trans rights in certain countries have been reduced over the last few years, which is terrible. So the onus is on our generation to remember that the fight's not over. Equality is still something that we need to fight for around the world. And World Pride is a really great symbol of how far we've come, but it's a reminder that the fact that we need an event like this shows us that we're not yet there as a society. the other thing to consider is, I'm fortunate, I live in Sydney, so I'm going to be a part of the World Pride celebrations, but there are people who live in regional communities in Australia who still don't have that sense of freedom. So seeing World Pride take place in Australia is really great for them because it reminds them that they're not alone, and it will help to bring their communities forward as well. But I think this is a really good time for us all to reflect on what are the next steps look like for us, and where do we need to move, and how can we support those who are less fortunate than us to gain those freedoms that we have. So at Humanity Health Group, we spend a significant amount of time internally working with our clinical team and all of our customer team to give them the tools to be able to work compassionately and empathically with clients who identify as LGBTQIA+, so that we can ensure that their individual needs are met, and it's all done really respectfully. From an external perspective, we're an organisation that works with a number of different businesses around Australia. We work within the disability employment sector and supporting disability employment service providers with education packages and training for their participants. So Back to Work, which is one of our brands, they work on a program with Wise Employment, which is a specific program that they've developed to work with people of the LGBTQIA+ community to help them reach their employment goals. So it's really looking at it from their angle, so very specialised, but very person-centred as well. Me and Work, so that's one of our brands that works with organisations to help build their internal culture, have an incredible speaker series where the topic is around diversity and inclusion and unconscious bias. So looking at your organisation, how people feel when they interact with you, but do you have LGBTQIA+ employees or clients who feel comfortable to be who they are? And if not, how you can get to that space where that's a part of your organisation's DNA, which is so important.